time check is about 5 minutes past the hour 4. And we're coming on your way from Palace TV. This is another section of marriage and happiness. So we thank God for your life, and I know you're gonna be blessed after this section. And so I have great men of God in our midst, and we're gonna speak to our previous topic that we treated. We couldn't finish it, so it's a continuation from last month on the 13th. And so if you just join us, please, I want you to share the video, tell a friend to tell a friend, connect a friend, link a friend, invite a friend to watch this program. That will help their marriage life. And if you want to help somebody, if you want to advise somebody, use this channel to get it across to them so that they'll be benefit from what we're going to say today. And so without wasting my time, our time is fast spent. I'll quickly do the introduction. Pretty quick, we have one guest who is coming. You see, empty chair. She's going to be here very soon. I have with me Minister Hannah. Minister Hannah is here, and I have Pastor Sarkodie also here. But I will let Minister Hannah to give a self-introduction pretty quick, then it turns to Pastor Sark.
Thank you so much. Like you said, my name is Minister Hannah Chey, and I've been here for a couple of times, and I'm also glad to be part of this session as well. God bless you.
Thank you so much. That was Minister Hannah Chey, very powerful lady and a great lady God has ordained. We thank God. She's also a musician, so she didn't add that one. But Pastor Sark.
Yes, sir.
Jolate.
Thank you so much, Minister Richard. God bless you for the great work you are doing. You at Palace TV and in Palace Church. I greet the great man of God in this house.
Hallelujah.
And yourself, and we pray that God will use you mightily and your crew to do wonderful things in our community as you've already started. My name is Reverend Samuel Sarkodie, affectionately called Pastor Sark, with Charisma Word Ministry. Bring you greetings from Charisma Word and my senior pastor, Apostle Prince Bonsu. I know he's a friend of this this program. He's been here many times. So, and also I bring you greetings from my wife, Mrs. Sarkodie, Henrietta Sarkodie.
Thank you so much. And I know you do different program. We're going to talk about it later. But you can add it, just a brief, before when we're going to talk about, it's going to be a session between me and you to talk about the whole program. So you can just mention in a few minutes. What do you do as well?
I'm Executive Director, Founder, and President of AfriNet Center for Global Integration. It's a non-profit organization that we do summer school, after school program for school-going children. And our focus is basically bridging the gap, supplemental education, and also providing some mentoring and leadership opportunities for the minority, and especially with the African immigrant community, especially the children and the youth. We are also in the process of coming up with other social services programs that will help with the integration of new Americans into our society, into our community. People come here and the way to navigate through the system of the American society is a very complex one. So we have very good programs that will help people navigate through the system and also in our society to better enrich and empower themselves, and also to avoid certain mistakes you and I have made in our past. So yes, AfriNet has been there since 2013.
Wow.
Yes.
That's good. That's very powerful, and I know we're going to have more time to talk about it. Viewers, thank you so much for joining us this evening, this minute, this hour, however and wherever you're doing the tuning in. This is Palace TV. We're coming on your way with marriage and happiness. I'll be your host, your anchor. You can call me Rachel Cole as well. And very soon, Minister Christiana Boateng will be here joining us this evening. The topic we're gonna discuss is about selfishness in bed. We talked about it before, and we're gonna continue. We couldn't finish it because sometimes some of the topics are very broad. Yesterday I sent a topic to a man of God, and he said, "Man, you have to, you have to break it down because your topics are so strong." We're trying to do what we can to our best knowledge, and with the grace of God, I know we're gonna make it possible. And so, let me give a very brief intro about what we're going to talk about. Basically, it's about married couples. And let's bring something from the Bible and what's a view of the Bible, what it says about our Christian life and our Christian marriages, how the way it should go. And so, a married couple is expected to have sexual relations. Since sexual immorality is occurring, each man should have sexual relation with his or his own wife, and each woman with her own husband. The husband should fulfill his marital duty to his wife, and likewise the wife to her husband. And the wife will also have their own way. But let me go for a very quick break, and I'll be back. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining, and stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. All right, thank you so much. We are welcome back. Thank God she is here. Thank God. You see, the empty chair is being fulfilled now. So the chair has fulfilled his purpose. Amen. Okay, so thank you so much once again. I'll do the introduction. Minister Hannah and Minister Christiana, she just walked in, and Pastor Sako there. It is great honor to have you guys, and I really appreciate you so much for honoring every invitation that we called on to. And you've been a blessing unto our viewers and everybody that's watching this program. So thank you once again. We welcome you on this great show. We were talking, and I made mention about what the Bible tells us concerning what we're going to discuss today, and we're going to talk about selfishness in bed. And the Bible says man should fulfill his marital duties to his wife, and likewise the wife to her husband. The wife does not have authority over her own body, but yield it to her husband. In the same way, the husband does not have authority over his own body, but yield it to the wife. Basically, this is what biblically the Bible talks about marriage and sex in bed. As couples, sometimes we do things, and when we get to our closet place, or when we get to our bedrooms, the things that have been occurred in the day, we let it overcome us and do things we are not supposed to do. And so that's what we are here to talk about. And so we're going to have different views. We have different personalities and different views we're going to have. So thank you so much once again. If you have any comment, contribution, channel on my page or Paris TV, I'll read all your comments. And if you want to call, you can call 6144 423-7188, 614-423-7188. WhatsApp page is opening 614-420-4365, 614-420-4365. That is our WhatsApp page. You can send a message. You cannot call. Just send a message and I'll read all your comments. And any question that you want to channel on the page, Palace TV, I'll be able to read them. Thank you so much once again for joining us. Time check is about 15 minutes past the hour 4. We'll get it along. I'll start from, because we have only, we are 2 men, you know, but I'll start from the right. Okay, so Reverend Sack, I want you to, I'll just cut your name short. I'll give you abbreviation. So, because I don't want to turn my tongues all over. So I'll start from you. What is your take? What do you understand? What do you feel about this topic?
Thank you so much, Brother Richard. This is a very interesting topic. When you called me and you mentioned the topic, I'm like, okay, I hope this is not a setup. It's a very difficult topic. But Christians of these days, we need to go into details on some of these things because majority of Christian divorce that is happening all over the world, some of these issues are very pertinent, and they are some of the causes of divorce in Christian marriages that we just treat it anyhow, or we are only basically ignorant about it. Selfishness in bed. Pondering over it, what I can tell you, what you are trying to say is that selfishness in bed technically results in sexual starvation. When we say somebody is being selfish in bed, you are basically depriving your partner, your spouse, of sexual gratification.
Okay.
One of the main components and reasons why God created marriage. So that is basically my understanding of when somebody is selfish in bed. And I know this topic pertains to married couple. So I think we have to be very specific on that.
Okay.
I know the great women of God here have dealt with this topic very extensively in the previous session, the previous episodes. But the little I want to add to it is that when somebody or when a spouse is being selfish, I don't want us to jump quickly into maybe negativity or assuming the person is just being wicked. There could be several reasons why a spouse or a partner will be selfish in bed. Some of the reasons, to play the devil's advocate, some of the reasons could be very religious. A couple, a partner will be embarking on a personal spiritual life, maybe fasting. So they want to abstain from that, which Bible encourages. The Bible does not compel us or force us to do that, but the Bible encourages us to do that.
Okay.
So that is one of the reasons why a partner or a spouse could be selfish, especially with the men of God. Sometimes we are so spiritually, sanctimoniously holier than thou that a pastor, a bishop, apostle, we are almost always fasting and praying for the flock. And we deprive our wives or our partners the sexual gratification. And some of these things can cause a lot of problems. A wife during their menstrual period also definitely, Bible teaches us to abstain away. I'll come to some scriptures. I'll allow the beautiful ladies to also speak. But these are among many other reasons why somebody can be selfish. Again, a partner can technically be disengaged, lack of affection. It can happen naturally. You don't feel like it. You just don't feel like it, and you just become somebody will say, I am myself alone. But when sexual starvation happens in marriage, there are 5 possible things that can happen, and I want to outline them before I settle down for my dear sisters to also say it. Now, when sexual starvation happens in marriage, one begins to think of something else, somebody else. There is definitely an outlet that is being created for somebody to desire for somebody, which, of course, will result in adultery, will result in fornication. The Bible speaks against that. And also, it brings constant conflict, confusion fight unnecessary argument. It is natural. When one is being selfish for whatever reason and it's not properly communicated, it brings that kind of conflict and also dissentment or resentment. You pull back. You understand? You become yourself and you just don't want to talk to the other person. You are being selfish. You are starving your partner. You are not communicating. Your partner automatically just pulls out and it brings frustration, emotional distress. And these are very practical things that happens in marriage. And if it is not properly handled, if it is not properly communicated, some of these behaviors and attitudes have resulted in unnecessary and unwanted divorce. So I will rest my case here.
Okay, thank you so much. That was a very powerful man, great man of God, Pastor Sarkodie. Thank you so much for your input concerning this topic. And I know Minister Hannah spoke more about it last section that we met. And I'll allow you, Minister Christiana, to just give us your take, a very brief one. Then we proceed to.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Basically, I think Pastor covered most of the topic, the headlines of all the selfishness that goes on in marriage. And some are good and some are bad, as we started off. But it all based on the good communication we have with our spouse before we take a journey. And if we see that it's a conflict that is hindering as couples not to enjoy, that's when we need to trash it out so that we can enjoy our marriage. Because it's something that holds, that binds marriage together. So the bed is supposed to be a place that after all our toils and everything, it's a place that we console ourselves, refresh ourselves. We can go into bed whilst we are upset, or there are issues that is hindering me for me to enjoy my partner. And if one person have issue and is not trashed out, and the other person doesn't have, like, doesn't even care, but want to actually enjoy whatever it is, it's your issue, it's not my issue. I think the last segment, that's where we reached. That why people are not enjoying sex, but sex have become a chore. All the good reasons Pastor brought out is there, but there is another vacuum in marriage that a lot of people are not enjoying what's supposed to be enjoyable. It has become a chore. So for marriage couples, not making sex or the bedrooms affairs selfish, we need to come to the bottom line. Why even selfishness can even appear in our bedrooms.
That was a great one because I forgot it was you. I've given your. Sorry,
that is fine. We are twins.
Sorry. Yeah, because when I see you, it's like, oh, it was her. No, I'll take it back. Don't worry. All right. So that was great, and I'll ask you this: do we have pressure in having sex? Or is something that do we have to have pressure in it?
Of course. Before I'll come back to your question, thank you so much for saying that out.
No, I'm taking it back. I'm taking it back. Okay. It's for you, okay? Don't worry.
That's right. It's my choice, sister. I'm the oldest anyway.
Thank you, Pastor Sarkodie and Minister Christiana, for powerful words and contribution. Yes, one thing that you said, Pastor Sarkodie, about unless one has agreed to fast. But in that, both couples have to agree on that before you can also take a lead to do that. The other person have to also agree. The Bible throw light on that one as well. That you can, because your body is not yours. I want to read that scripture. I think it's 1 Corinthians chapter 7.
3 to 5.
Actually,
I will
start
try from
to-
one. From
yeah,
one.
Oh, okay.
1
Yeah.
to 8.
Okay, so which one you want to read? One from one?
I'm gonna read from verse 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now for my. Oh, you want?
Go ahead, sweetie.
Now for my response concerning the issues you have asked me to address. You wrote saying it is proper for a man to live in celibacy. Perhaps, but because of the danger of immorality, each husband should have sexual intimacy with his wife, and each wife should have sexual intimacy with her husband. A husband has the responsibility of meeting the sexual needs of his wife. And likewise the wife to her husband. Neither the husband nor the wife have exclusive right to their own body, but those rights are to be surrounded to the other. So do not continue to refuse your spouse those rights, except perhaps by mutual agreement for a specific time, so that you can both be devoted to prayer. And then you should resume your physical pleasure, so that the adversary cannot take advantage of you because of the desire of your body. Amen.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think even your question that you answer, that is
Should we have pleasure in sex?
yes,
Yes.
it's even answered over here.
Okay.
That the time that, except the time that you have consent to take a time to seek the face of God, unless that time that you have to abstain yourself from those stuff, because you are seeking the face of God, you are praying, you don't want the enemy to use that weakness to get into you, so you abstain yourself from that, unless that time that you can say, okay, hey, let's put this on hold, and then when we get done seeking the face of God, we can get back to that. So back to your question, we get pleasure in that. That is what God intended it, but it's for marriage couples. I want to throw more light into our topic, that selfishness in love making or in the bedroom. When we talk about selfishness, it's something that is putting one's interest above other. So when I put myself interest above my spouse, everything have to be about me. Selfish people, everything got to do be about them. They don't care about how you feel, how if anybody will get hurt or anything. They always want to get their way. It have to be about me. Why not me? Why is it not me? And why you did not mention my name? My needs have to be met first before hers. So these people, not just in bedroom, they are already, everything got to do with them. They don't care about your emotions. So when you are married to such person, automatically they will bring it to the bedroom. Because they want everything have to be about them. That is the reason why we've been talking about this all year long, that you have to study the person. You have to know who he is, whether he is a selfish or not. Because if you know that this guy is he got that DNA in
Yeah.
him, automatically he will bring it. So we have to deal with that. Some people, they are like everything, when they were growing, everything were at their disposal. They get it. It's like the moment they open their mouth, they get it. But when they are growing, they got that also in them. So whenever they need it or whenever they want it, they want to have it. They don't care whether you are ready or not. They want to have it. They don't care whether you are sick. They want to have it. So it's about time that before we get into the marriage, we sit down and get to know each other more, who he is, who she is. If the person is self-centered, the Bible says something that like love is not self-seeking. And when you study the word selfish, it's people who are always seeking self. It's all about them. But they have to be other way around. Love is putting one ahead of you. Like you take yourself out of the way, and then you think about other people. So if we are talking about this topic, we have to delve, we have to go into down before we get into marriage, the DNAs, the stuff that comes with us, the things that the baggages that comes with us that we haven't dealt with it. We need to bring everything on the table. We have to study them and see where they're coming from. Mama's son and dada's daughter. We have to get to know all those kind of things because we don't want to have any surprises when we get into marriage. So those of us who are about to get married, we have to look for all those kind of character that need to be dealt with before we get into the bedroom.
We need to deal with it before we get into the bedroom. And thank you so much. That was awesome. It is time. It is the moment. You keep watching it. This is Palace TV. We're coming on your way with marriage and happiness. And that's the topic. We're treating selfishness in the room or in the bed. As married couples, what is your duty when it comes to man and woman affair? When you guys have gotten yourself together as a couple, as the Bible says, you become one flesh. So why would you exempt yourself from one another? Why would you stop somebody from coming to you? So that's why we are here to know. That's why we are here to learn. That's why we are here to ask questions. So you can channel your questions right here on Palace TV, or you can go to Rachel Koraki, or just send your comments on WhatsApp page on 6144-204-365, 6144-204-365. You can as well call on 6147-423-7188, 6144-423-7188, and I'll get your questions right here, and I'll let our speakers know what you're bringing out. Thank you so much. Pilgrim Germany says, yes, much better now. I'm watching you all the way from Barbados. Thank you so much, Germany, for joining us. If you have any questions, just channel on our page and I'll be reading them. Thank you so much. Keep sending your comment. Please let us know where you're joining us from, and so that we know where we're going. Pastor Sack, I will ask you this. You made mention about communication. And we've been treating from somewhere before we got to this topic. And like Minister Hannah said, you have to know the person you are getting yourself into. Right. But you might not know everything about the person, even when you guys got married. The person might have something hidden. He or she might not want you to know. It is hard for you to know. If you've not seen any sign or something, and I don't know how many times or how long are you guys gonna know each other before you got married. So there's something there. It is hard unless there is love that can bring that thing out. So in communication aspect, when communicating to your spouse, how do we do it? When do we do it? Communication is is something that we need to take it as pride or as plowed in our relationships. So if we don't have that communication, that means we're going astray. We might do things, but when we lack communication, hey, everything will scatter. So, as we made mention it, how would somebody know somebody everything before they get into marriage? Because sometimes these things will pop up. And when they pop up, oh, you think, oh, well, this one I didn't know when we got married. But now it's showing up. So when it happened, what would you do?
Thank you so much, my brother. Communication in marriage is an effective tool to help and resolve all conflict or issues, any plans of the enemy to bring distraction in marriage. And especially as Christians, it is very important for us to embrace effective communication in marriage to help us heal certain wounds. Bible says that for lack of knowledge, my people perish. Yeah. And it is not only to the people of Israel as a nation, but even in every aspect of our life. My quest and curiosity to know more about my wife helps me to know her more. Not to use it against her, not to use it to judge her, not to use it to bring shame upon her, but for me to get understanding and how best I will be able to understand her. We are biological human beings. And also God empowers us for us to be spiritually empowered. Yeah. But the physicals of our natural being as human beings, we need to know. I may not know her past. You may not know his past. People have had some previous relationships, intimate relationships before they got into marriage, that some of these past relationships have become chronic demonic link to causing problems. I encourage every spouse, every partner to once in a while sit down, whether jovially or in a more serious note, ask your spouse. So is there anything in your past that you think is still being a struggle to you? Some of these uncommunicated issues from our past relationships can destroy. I'm a pastor, I'm a counselor, I can tell you everything that people tell us. But sometimes when God is working and God is using you and you come into some of these situations, scenarios, and the things married couple are doing behind marriages and their reasons, it is not only counseling that can solve it, sometimes you need deliverance. So if you are a patient husband, if you're a very understanding wife, and you take your time, maybe you have observed something, my wife is being selfish. I honestly, I'm not comfortable with the word selfish because it makes it so negative. My wife is abstaining. My wife is keeping to herself. My wife is starving me. My wife is not affectionate anymore. Instead of getting angry, instead of blaming her, instead of starting a fight, one has to be a matured one. One has to be the counselor in marriage. And take yourself out and see yourself as somebody who is going to try to provide help to somebody who is in a situation. This mindset has helped me and it has helped my wife. And we enjoy a good marriage. Every marriage has its ups and downs. Yeah. Any pastor, any bishop, any apostle that tells you I've been married, me and my wife, if not fought before, please run away from that person. That is not true. You understand? So be the matured one. Ask yourself what is going on. Whatever situation that is happening, the selfishness in bed, the starvation in bed that is happening right now, one, ask yourself, have you contributed to that? Have you upset her? Are there any ungiven apologies that you've not rendered? We are human beings. Your wife can decide to starve you for not being humble enough. They own that power. God has given them. You understand? Women have that power. You understand? So ask yourself, what part are you playing to bring all this? Maybe you had a fight. That fight has not been resolved. So you have to resolve it first before you jump into conclusion and using that as an excuse to commit adultery or fornication or to cheat on your spouse. Resolve, communicate. So communication is an effective tool in resolving some of these things. Apart from that, assess, you have to know your spouse. What is her health or medical condition? Especially women, they hardly communicate when they are sick. They hardly communicate when the issues are, when they are going through situations. It could be abdominal pain. It could be something they cannot tell you. Find out. Sometimes you need to restrain yourself a little bit. The sexual libido is so strong. But if you understand some of these things and you're matured enough, you would take it one step at a time and be there for the person. Be there for your spouse. Sexual satisfaction or gratification may take just about 5 to maximum maybe 2 hours and you're done. Some of us, within an hour, you can walk around without even thinking. You come back and you're okay. But ask your spouse what is going on. For all you know, this person is getting distracted. A past relationship, a past boyfriend, a past girlfriend has started texting, has started chatting, and there's a diversion. There's a detour of emotional, you understand? You need to sit there and assess and find out, babe, are you getting distracted? I see these days you hide and pick your phones. I see these days you are chatting and you are texting to people that I don't know. I don't want to be a hypocrite. I suspect you are getting distracted. Is there anything I can do to help? And couple that pray together, they stay together. So in addition to effective communication, you need to pray. You need to assume that matured counselor position in marriage. And it helps. And once you love each other, some of these things, they are easily handled. And one of the effective communication is not only one way. You need to be sharp, sensitive enough. You need to be discerning. So prayer is one effective communication to yourself. To bring yourself and your spirit and your soul up to speed. To how best you'll be able to position your emotions and your mindset about the person I am sleeping on the bed with, my wife. So once you're able to communicate with God, you communicate with yourself and you prepare yourself to be able to communicate better with your spouse. And once you engage him or her in a loving, counseling way, the Spirit of God helps to move that message to them. Sometimes we may not get a result immediately. The devil brings arrogance. The devil brings pride. And it is very difficult to resolve issues of this nature with somebody who is so proudful and arrogant and who is unapologetic. But with time, you see, we easily get offended and we also bounce back with anger when some of these things happen. If you are not giving it, then I'm going somewhere. Okay, go. You come back and nothing has resolved. If she's also distracted and she's getting it somewhere, I don't know who is losing.
I don't know who is losing because if I let you, you go and go. Thank you so much. Let me ask you, Mr. Christiana, because we're talking about understanding because we have communication, pressure, agreement, and understanding. That's what I've noted that. But I want us to know, like he said, we're talking about Christian belief. You might be a Christian, your partner will not be a Christian. And you find yourself in this situation. There's somebody that says the husband was kind of tormenting her every minute, every second he wants it. And as a believer, you've gotten yourself with this husband. Like Pastor Sark is saying, you have to go on your knees and pray. It might be you alone because he doesn't understand where you're coming from. The mutual understanding, when it's not there, if that person is not a Christian, there won't be a mutual agreement because he feels different, he thinks different than your thought. What would you be or what would you say in that position if you have yourself in that situation? With the unbeliever and as a believer and you going through this situation, understanding, agreement, communication. The person have different concept. You have different concept. So how would it work? We've been talking from somewhere and we've got into this part.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think last week, a month ago.
Yeah, last month.
I think we mentioned some of these areas.
Yeah.
A little bit. But the thing is, the main thing we are talking about here is the sex part.
Okay.
When we are using the bedroom, we are actually talking about sex.
Sex, yeah.
And to tell you the truth, if your partner is somebody that can make you satisfied, sex is not a chore at all. It doesn't matter how much rounds, how many times it is.
Okay.
All these flimsy excuses comes in when there is hurt or there is something cooking somewhere. So for me, if I'm a Christian and I'm married to an unbeliever, definitely I know my husband's demand and how he does his things. To tell you the truth, the unbelievers sometimes are wiser when it comes to sex aspects than Christians. Excuse me to say. We think we can make everything holy.
Yeah.
So even in the bedroom, we are trying to be holy.
We want to prove ourselves
About
holy.
it. But to tell you the truth, we are not deceiving anybody. We're deceiving our own selves. Because the Lord God who created us knows that we should have pleasure in it. So anything that I'm doing that I'm having pleasure, there is no way I'm getting tired.
Okay.
I get tired when I'm not satisfied. My dad used to say that if you are a man and you don't do your work well in the bedroom, that's why in the morning when you say good morning to your wife, he started abusing or accusing you or saying curse words back to you because you have already upset the woman in the bedroom.
Yeah.
And he always say that a man who knows how to give a woman a pleasure, you don't give chop money. You eat for free. It is true. Because I put my ears down and I have witnessed so many things that there are men who are really good in the bedroom to their wives that don't eat, like they don't put no chop money. They don't even buy anything for the woman. The woman will hustle to make sure the house is intact. So, as a believer, if my husband is a man who is good in bed and know what to do and when to do it and how to make me happy, I don't think I have any excuses when he's coming. If you are a man and you want it and your wife is giving you excuses, somewhere or the other, either you are rushing too much or he's not getting anything. Definitely, she's going to be upset. That's where the headaches come in. I think we mentioned it last week, a month ago. So when the excuses are coming, that's where I picked from Pastor, that you need to sit back and reassess if you are actually doing your work as a man. Are you making your woman on top? Or after it, actually she get upset? And if it's issue, you don't be so proud. You need to talk to your wife about it so that she can know what's going on. Because as we grow, things changes. So I get to a point, that's where the communication and everything comes in. Because when I met my husband, we were young. Now 27 years and ongoing, he's past 50, I'm hitting it. We can't do what we used to do when we were in our 20s. Definitely no. But the stage that we are in, we need to find time and find the way that will make both of us happy. So if my husband is an unbeliever and he wants it, whenever, what time, as long as the surrounding is okay. That's the other thing that we mentioned the other day, that this couple just wanted a divorce, all because the husband doesn't think anything about her. When he walks through the door, whether the kids are eating, she's cooking, or she got to rush to the bedroom and get it started. No, it doesn't go that way. I'm sorry, it's for you, but we have kids to take care. We have homework here to get it done. Cooking have to be finished. Then in the night, it's for us to enjoy. So the thing is here is that a man have to read the atmosphere too. You come and she's in the middle of cooking, homework, laundry and everything, and you're like, can you see me in the bedroom? It makes it difficult. It becomes like a master and a slave. Sometimes the way you even present it, sometimes, okay, you are coming from, you have seen all the skirts and everything, things are hashing up. Okay, there is a way to present the whole thing, you know. But the thing is, sometimes, that's why I always say, sometimes the unbelievers are good. A Christian man come in and like, okay, I'm the head, so I'm the head, so I'm heading. You can't do
heading
it that
and
way.
everything.
We don't arrive at a good ending at the end of that day. So it's a pleasure for us to have it. And if my husband is an unbeliever, and as long as whatever he's asking is something that it's okay. Okay, you have come, the kids are gone, they are in school and nothing's going on. Like I don't have a visitor. A man will see a sister have a visitor and comes in, and whilst they are chatting, can I see you in the bedroom? Seriously? The atmosphere at that
You have
time
to
is
apply.
not good. You're not applying, but let's keep it cool.
Keep it cool. It's all that's keep it cool, take it cool. Thank you so much, Honorable Kwesi Amiyah-Ochembe. That's my boss, Majority Chief Whip. When I see him joining our programs, I'm so pleased. Thank you so much, Honorable, for joining us this evening, all the way from Ghana. I do appreciate your presence this evening. Thank you so much. Viewers, if you just join us, I want you to bring your comment, your question. Everybody's being quiet. That means everything is suiting to everybody's situation. So you kind of timing cool and waiting for what is coming next. But I want you to bring your comment, your contributions. If you have any question, yes, they are hitting what you want to hear, but there's something you might want to hear more, or you might need to understand. So just bring your questions here and I'll be reading them. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Prophet Samuel Yahweh, thank you so much. You joining us from Liberia. And Linda also, I believe you also joining us from UK. Imara Akomia, thank you so much. I don't know where you're joining us from. Abna Brempoma, thank you so much. Nana Bright, thank you so much for joining us. Afedantri, I believe you watching us from here. My brother, God bless you so much for joining us. Dr. Kwajo Poku, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I do appreciate you guys. Keep sharing the video. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Connect a friend. Link a friend. Cut and paste a friend. Invite a friend and do the justice to it. Thank you so much for doing the watching right here. I'm your host. I have with me Minister Hannah Chey and Minister Christina Boateng, Mrs. Boateng, and Reverend Samuel Sako there. I forgot the medal. That's why I asked you to do the introduction because I don't want to fumble. Thank you so much, viewers, for joining us. Before I come to you, sex, whether it is for procreation or sex for pleasure, it is a gift from God to marital union. The feeling of sexual longings and pleasures during sex were created by God. And so God have pleasure in having sex. God have pleasure in it. It is suitable for his purpose. It is part of his purpose. And one time my father was teaching and was giving us, he says, marriage, we have 7 keys. And that key, sex is the last key. But we find pleasure in sex more than every aspect of marriage. And so when somebody put only sex in their focus, that I came into the marriage because of sex, and after sex there is nothing is done, it makes marriage difficult. And people find it difficult to find their spouse. Where I'm thinking about this, we have to think about this. This is part of it. The Bible says God give it as a gift into marriage. So if it's a gift, it is part of his purpose to make it great. And so if we come in to pray in that situation, then we have to fulfill it, make it better the way God wants it to be. Minister Hannah, we're talking about understanding and communication. And like I was putting to Christina, it is not everybody that understands what they're doing. I heard this news, and I think I made mention, the lady was complaining that the husband is kind of pushing her every minute. When he gets whatever he wants, when he finishes having the sex, he's done. In a few minutes, he will come back. And so it becomes a headache to the wife. So when you find yourself in this situation, this woman might have another thought. If God doesn't prevail, if this person is not a Christian, that can speak to great men of God who can give her advice. Like Pastor said, she might go wayward. So when it happened that way, maybe both of them were Christian. When it happened that way, what would you do?
Thank you. To me, anybody that like every minute, every second, I want to have sex, I want to do it. I think you might be sick.
Thank you.
You need deliverance.
You need medical attention because it's just not normal.
That's true.
It's not normal. So when something like that happens, whether we have to seek medical attention or you go for counseling, you have to go for counseling. You need it because you are also, maybe I will put it this way, you are hurting her because she's not enjoying it, but actually she is,
Yes.
it has become like a, I have to,
Duty,
like a
work.
slave or something. It happened years back. There was a lady that got married to a very rich man. He was he had so many companies and stuff, and this girl happened to be a deacon or deaconess's daughter. So she got married to this man, and then every minute she will come to the mom, I don't want to get married anymore. What is going on? He said, I don't want to get married. You know, this is very sensitive thing that you can't talk to people about it. Even we sitting here talking about this is like I'm finding it so difficult to get myself involved. So it's something that people don't want to talk about it. It's like a bedroom thing. Like if you talk about it, like you are not holy or whatever it is. But we have to. Somebody needs to be there to talk about it and get people healed of what they are going through. So this guy said, I don't want to get married anymore. Oh, your husband is rich. He is handsome. What is wrong? He has built you a house. He said, I don't want to get married. And then they involved the pastors and the church elders. And she said, still, I don't want to get married. So one day the mom said, I need to talk to this girl. Me and you, what's going on? He said, the man comes home like right at the gate. I know what he is looking for, and it's going to be all night thing, and I don't want to do that. I'm tired of it. And he said, how many times? He said 10 times. He said, no, I can't do this. And then they called the elders, and then they invite the man. Now that they know what the problem is, he said, oh, this is what your wife is saying. He said she can't do this anymore. He said, oh, this is that what you I will reduce it to 6.
You're sick.
You need to go to the doctor for them to check you. So when you are in this kind of situation and you cannot talk to anybody, you have to go and seek help. You need to go for counseling. This thing's supposed to be something that you are enjoying. Your husband is your friend. God created a marriage couples to be like, you have to have companion. Like he is your friend. You have to be there for them. Your partner, your everything. You share things together. It's not about sex alone. Like you said, everything is, they have to be at the bottom. So you work your way through during the day. You have to set some days that you want to do this. It's not supposed to be everyday thing. It's going to be too much, and too much of everything is bad. So you have to find some days that you want to do this so that everybody will be ready. And also during the day that you're going to do that, you have to work yourself to even some text messages. Work on your mind, because sometimes your mind is not there because of different things that you'll be doing during the day or during the week. You have to work on their mind. I'm so even short text message. You know, I'm thinking about you. I don't know what I'm going to do tonight. You know, you're working on their mind. If their mind is not even there, you are drawing their mind onto it. So you prepare yourself before you get into it. We are not in the 70s when mommy and papa will just jump on the bed and do whatever they want to do, and then they're done. No, there have to be some way that you play around and get yourself ready and all those kind of things. something. The lady also have to get herself ready. Go to the Victoria's Secret. Get yourself a beautiful lingerie, something beautiful, and work your husband's mind. They have to work both ways. The man is working on your mind, and you are also working on his mind as well. Don't just wear something that is not attractive, and it will not work. Like, I'm starving because my husband is not coming to me. What are you wearing? What are you doing as a woman in the house? You have to work yourself. You have to work the man. Do something that he will find you attractive. And the man also buy some flowers. Do something. Love gives. So show him that you are ready for that, and she will be also ready for you. So coming back to your question.
Yeah.
If the man always want to do this, like I said, first of all, we have to go for medical checkup if everything is okay. And second, we have to seek counseling. We have to talk to the man that this is not okay. That you don't use somebody as a sex slave. That every day it have to be something that both of you have to enjoy. And then I want to also add something to it. Sometimes one of the partners, they can pass orgasm or they can come out so quickly, and some people are not that type. Okay, you have to know yourselves how it works. So you have to play around a little bit. You don't just lead her and then in the middle of it you said, oh, I'm done. And then she is hanging over here. It doesn't work that way. That means you are selfish. You know that she is not there, so why do you have to just leave her
hanging?
You have to do it in a way that everybody will be satisfied before you go to bed. Like I said, too much of everything is bad. So don't use her as a sex slave. Even it goes both ways. There are some women who are also like that. The men, they can't go too much. So you also have to go easy on him. You have to go both ways. Not just, we've been talking about the men, but sometimes some of the women, oh my goodness, they are also out there. So we have to also know who our spouses are, our husbands are. If they cannot go that way, please take it easy on them. It has to be something that both of you should enjoy, and you have to enjoy it together. Don't leave one hanging, and then don't overdo it also.
Don't overdo it also. Thank you so much. Pastor Saka, I will come to you. Let me go this because we know our purpose, we know our focus, where we're dragging this marriage to. The first day you got married, it is different environment, different dream. And you have sessions of dream that you're going to encounter in that marriage. So it comes to the maturity side of marriage, where things are getting tough and are getting hard. When it gets tough and it gets hard, things happen. But in all, should we keep hiding those things, the trials and the hardship we're going through, to make it overcome us, to deprive our spouse from what they need to get or what we need to give to them? So in the first phase of marriage, you got married. At the night, you say so many things concerning your wife. When you get into the second dreams, when things are tough and when you even get up from bed, you forget about even your wife was sleeping with you or were there. You just get up, boom, away. And so when you come home and your wife is kind of reacting, you have to know how to talk to that person. Make her feel, oh, well, I'm going through this, but in that, the wife can take a position not to even come to you on the bed. So with these trials, this hardship that we go through, should we let it be something burden us, not to even think about making our partner feel so good, feel happy when it comes to bed affair or whatever you did in the morning. I can 2 days, 2 weeks, nothing's gonna happen, no sex. Then you made the person have different concept. He or she might go out, not even coming home, because I know if it is a gift from God, then God wants it to work when we are having our grievances. He wants us to have it to bring peace. What do you think?
Thank you so much. I think you've answered most of the questions yourself. So, it is great. You really prepared for this, and I'm glad you have so much to give to our audience. I'm going back to the same scripture we've been using, running around, 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 1 downwards. But I'm going to stay on verse 5, which says that, do not deprive each other of sexual relations unless you both agree to refrain or consent to refrain from sexual intimacy for a limited time, so you can give yourself more completely to prayer. Afterward, you should come together again so that Satan won't be able to tempt you because of your lack of self-control. There are a lot of things in this particular verse, the verse 5, that I want to break it down to a little bit. It talks about deprivation. Don't deprive, don't starve yourself, don't starve each other of sexual relation or sexual pleasure in marriage. You understand? So it's a mutual affair. It's a cohabitation. It's a mutual kind of relationship. Sex is a two-way affair. Now, if you're going to deprive yourself, it must be a consensus. So I will come directly to your question, but I want to build a case here. Like I started with, many of these marital relation issues, conflict, confusions, arguments as a result of sexual starvation is as a result of, one, lack of knowledge, lack of understanding, not knowing your partner very well. And as my dear sister said, there is nothing wrong if a husband comes home and wife or mother is taking care of kids, and you know your man, the man knows his wife. It's a little signal, you know what that means. Probably for all you know, the wife is already waiting anxiously for it. So they know how to, if you know how to communicate, if you know that this is what my husband wants as soon as he comes, even before the husband arrives, you're already preparing and waiting. And as soon as the signal goes, you understand? So if we don't, we've said a lot of things, if we don't communicate, if we don't understand each other, if we don't build that kind of culture of ourselves, my understanding of marriage is this: we evolve. Marriage has to evolve. Communication in marriage has to evolve. Everything in marriage, you don't know how to stay married from day one. Because you've never, even if you went to primary school or kindergarten with the person, the kind of values that she's been brought up with is not the same. It doesn't matter whether you come from the same hometown or village. They are different. So the two of you have to evolve together. Now, if you easily get upset, if you easily get upset because you don't get satisfied, speak about it. It is something you need to address it. It's not enough getting upset, not feeling satisfied, whether you're a woman or a man. Honey, can we sit down and talk? You are asking about, should we keep it to ourselves? No. My answer is no. Open up, talk about it. Don't judge the person. Don't put the person in a box. And many times, unfortunately, partners talk bad about the weaknesses of their spouses outside to friends. Oh, don't mind my husband. 2 minutes person, 1 minute, 30 seconds. People who call their wives or their husbands such names. Talk about it. Everything can be resolved. There could be an advice, a help. Maybe it's just a matter of encouraging him to do 1 or 2 exercises 30 minutes a day.
So instead of talking to a friend for an hour concerning your spouse, you have to spend that time with your spouse,
with
talk
your
about
spouse.
things.
Talk
Yeah.
about it. Talk about, open up. Communication, effective communication is everything. Address it. Some people have worked on this for the past 3 years. It took about 3 years before some of these things were resolved. But there are people that, I'm telling you this, it is character. No matter how the man or the woman can satisfy him or her, but still, those things, the partner, other than prayer, has little to do to help you. Let me speak to you. Some of them is character. Is your character. Is your attitude. That is who you are. Some people, you can never please or satisfy them, no matter what. And there are some people, they have 0% libido and sexual affection or pleasure. So they just see it as, oh, let me just give it to him. I'm supposed to. Bible says we should not deprive. And they will never get involved. I don't know, they might have a root cause, but people, that is how their biological setup is created. And as Minister said, at a point, if you're a good spouse, you want to sit down, assess, pray, and ask questions. And if there's a need for medical help, do that. So don't keep it to yourself. It's a lot of work. We need to evolve together, and we need to understand. One thing that is affecting a lot of marriages in terms of this sexual gratification, sexual satisfaction, especially those of us in the Western countries, in these advanced countries, people are working 2 jobs a day. Especially people that work night shift. The people, spouses or partners, have tendency of becoming angry at every little thing when they are working night shift. They are naturally not people that easily get angry. But people that work night shift have a lot to go through more than those that work day shift. You have to understand. Just recently, I was counseling a couple. And the woman, the Spirit of God just told me, don't run away from that marriage. And I think I know the problem, the cause of the problem. Your husband gets angry easily. You think he has a temperament. What work does he do? What is his schedule? And I'm like, try and encourage him to change his schedule. And I say, this is the glory of God. It is working. So some of these things, you have to assess it beyond the bedroom. You have to evaluate it beyond the bedroom. You have to know what possibly could be. It could be physical, it could be spiritual, it could be social, it could be cultural. You understand? It could be biological, it could be health, it could be medical. So you have to have a broader understanding. And I want to end with this. On behalf of all men of God and all churches and all pastors and church leaders, I want to apologize because the church is not doing much to help educate, to help bring couples up to speed on how we can resolve some of these sexual displeasure, sexual starvation issues in marriages. Because maybe sometimes we think we are holier than thou. We think talking about other things is more important. But Christian marriage divorces are on the high rise because of some of this lack of knowledge and lack of effort for us to educate and help married couple. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think because of our time, we're not going to spend much time. We're wrapping up. So if you have something to add up to what he said.
Thank you. I think a pastor said a whole lot. Last month, I think I picked from here and there as well.
Right, yeah.
But today looks like everybody is saying the same thing, just in a different way or the other. It's really important. I guess we have time to extend this topic a little further. Not today, but maybe we're still dragging it.
Yeah, we're going to think about it.
Yeah, because I see it's really important because homes are being broken for these little trivial issues. It's in the bedroom, but we beat around the bush.
Yes.
There are fights that are going on that nobody can see the root cause except those two, but they have decided not to mention it because they feel shy. But if we are addressing it, as Pastor said, and getting the little education about it, I think marriages will be intact. Because all these things that we see, women going after men, men going after girls, and so, it's all these little things. And what I just recently heard that now even women are sleeping outside their marriage more than the men, because the men get weaker of late. So the women are not getting what they're supposed to get at home, whether it's true or not. But it's sad, because if we get that education, like the other day I said, you can get married to a handsome, young, energetic, and everybody, like he's on top. But something can happen.
Yeah.
And if it's sex alone, that's why you marry the person,
Yeah.
and
you
the
lost.
person is crippled, waist down, what are you going to do? You have already said, I do. There are so many ways that we can enjoy ourselves. It's not only the holy way. There is so many ways. But since we have refused to learn and get educated on stuff, we struggle. We think what our moms and our grandmas used to do was the only way. No. It's time for us to come out there and educate and learn from people too, so that homes will stay intact than us going around making the thing that God wants us to enjoy and be happy with it become something that it has become abominable. It's easy to have it outside the marriage, but once we have get the certificate to have it, it become a chore. So I think it's time for us to learn, get educated on stuff like this, so that our kids that are coming don't also come to, because our kids are learning from different sources, because parents don't know. But if I know, I'm able to pass it on. But if I don't know, what am I passing on? If my child come in, 30s, are still giving, like young guys are giving Viagra and all because the food you are eating. You drink soda, you don't drink water.
Yeah.
At the age of 30, you have no energy. There is no strength out there for you. So the education is really important. And I think once we get it, it will help marriage so that we can all enjoy as well.
Thank you so much. It will help marriage so that everybody will enjoy it as well. Thank you so much, Minister Christian. All right, Hannah, you finish it. Then I'll give everybody the last word to conclude.
Yeah, everybody has said a lot. The little thing that I want to add to it is that we were talking about communication.
Yeah.
And like one way communication is that effective. If the person is like sharing what they are going through, I'm talking, the other partner have to listen. It's one thing to be talking, and then it's another thing that your voice are being heard. I'm talking, but no one is listening. That means it's not going anywhere.
That's true.
My message is not getting across. So I'm not getting any result. So what I want us to do more is that we also have to listen to what our spouses are saying and try to bring change into the relationship. Because if the wife is saying, I'm not happy, and you're not doing anything about it, the next step will be, I have to find a way to be happy. And then they will be thinking, maybe the co-worker somewhere will be talking to her, and then, like you said, text messages coming. But before the text message started coming, you was not paying attention to her. Right. She was communicating, I'm not happy. Why are you leaving me hanging? And because you are so selfish and you are not paying attention to what I am trying to communicate to you, I might find myself somewhere. So it's about time we listen to them. We listen to the body language. Sometimes they will not voice it out, but you have to see the body language. The attitude that is going on in the house, we have to listen to it and then get to know what's going on and find solution to those kind of stuff that is going on. And if we listen, we will bring change into the marriage. So that is the only thing that I want to add to it. And I have one or two things that I want to add to it, that we have to listen to our partner's opinion. We have to take accountability. Like if something happening, we have to take accountability. Okay, and they're putting their needs before us. Like we have to put their needs before us. That is love. Love in action. You put others' needs before you. And then we also have to try to make our spouses happy. We have to try to make them happy. And then how do we deal with this selfishness? We have to, like I said, we have to practice putting ourselves last. In the marriage, we have to put ourselves last. Even especially when the children comes in, our thing goes all the way back there. Especially when it comes with Christmas stuff. Okay, you have to make sure everyone's need is met, and then you put your. But you know, when selfishness comes in, you want to be on top, but we also have to know that we have other people that we think about, and then we have to put ourselves in their shoes, in our partner's shoes. That if I am her, how will I feel? What I'm doing to her, how will I feel? So we also remember that they are important. They are important in our lives. If we see our spouses that they are very important, and we are not important, we are not more than important than them, we will see that they will feel that, oh, this man cherishes me, this man values me, and I also have to do the same thing to him. So, like I said, we need to communicate, and we also have to listen, and we also put them first in everything that we do. After God being the first, and then we have to also put them before us.
Thank you so much. I'll give you last word. Anything, any advice you want to share with our viewers? You go ahead. I will start from Minister Hannah. Any word? Yeah, I'll let him be last so that he will bless us before we leave.
Okay, the only thing that I would say is that, like I said it earlier on, that it shouldn't be something that you don't start. Like if you're going to have it, you have to work it. You have to work it from the morning. If it's in the evening, you have to start. Any time that you want to have it, you have to start somewhere and work yourself through it. You don't just come and it's gonna happen. I don't believe in those stuff.
So you prepare yourself like you're gonna meet your date.
Like
so
technology is leading. Technology is leading. We have to bring some spices into our marriages. We have to make it a way that everybody will be happy. You know, you work on the mind. You know what? I'm at work, but I'm thinking about you. You just send a text message. And then coming home, you know what? I'm at the flower shop. I'm trying to buy you a flower. Just something. The woman also have to be romantic. The other day I was talking to this Ghanaian lady. She said, you know, Ghanaian men, they are not romantic at all. I said, what happened? She said, they don't know how to buy flowers with my sister. And I said, listen, we have to know how, you know, we have 5 ways of showing love. We have words of affirmation. We have the work of act, and then we have I'm trying to help me. We have physical touch. We have spending time, like spending time quality time with them. All those times, everybody have their way of feeling loved. So we have to know where your partner stands, and when you get to know that part, then you keep on hammering that part. So if you know that the way that makes her feel loved, go buy some flowers. If you know that the way you can get your husband on, you have to do it. Wear some attractive stuff over there. Even if their mind is not there, the moment they see all those kind of things, they see through stuff, they will just they will be there. So we have to know all these things, the things that will get them on, and then we work towards it. You don't have to be there like, oh, this, but I'm old, so those stuff is for the young people. One of these young girls would snatch your husband from you, and then the pastors will be praying that kind of prayer. I'm not praying because you are not doing your homework well. So we have to do our homework well and then get the marriage.
Let's do our homework well and get all the spices for that marriage. When you get all the spices, you sleep and be snoring, you know. All right.
Pastors need to lay hands on you.
Yep. He needs legs, no hands. We should lay our legs on him.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. All right.
Christiana.
Thank you.
Go
On
ahead.
the final note, what should I say? I think I've been talking a lot since who knows when. But hey, love is good. And life is good. It's a choice that one person have to make. Marriage is work. Anybody that will tell you that marriage is shabu shabu is lying. Every day as we go in and out, set your mind that your marriage, you will do at least one thing a day to make your life and your marriage better. Don't just give up because hardship or things are setting in left and right. It's your life. And if you love your partner out there, or you are there looking and so searching, let me tell you, keep praying and God will let you get the best out there. And if you are in and now you are going through storms, I don't know where you listen from, but these messages or whatever we are sharing, it's my prayer that you are taking something out of it. Because to tell you the truth, there is nothing different out there. The man you have next to you, as long as you know how to treat him or to treat your wife, let me tell you, that person can tend to be a different person altogether. It takes only a little candy. It doesn't take that much to win the heart of a woman, to tell you. Don't let anybody out there take what is really valuable from you with a little smile. Sometimes it's just a smile. It's not money. Women don't go after money or those stuff. Just give them your time. Spend time with them. You don't pay money for it. And trust me, once you're spending time with you or with them, they will start talking. And all these things that you think it will never go away, they will start spelling it out. And with God's help, you will get somewhere.
With God's help, you go somewhere. When God leads you, it doesn't matter the storms, the obstacles on your way. It doesn't matter what your spouse is doing. He has a reason and has a purpose for everything that you go through. So just trust in God for everything and every word concerning what He has prepared for marriage. And by so doing, your life will never be the same. Reverend.
Yes, sir.
Last cut.
All right. We thank God for such a moment like this, and it's been very inspirational. It's been very educative. As we talked about, there are different reasons or causes why a couple will want to be selfish in bed or they will not want to starve. It could be for health reasons, for religious or spiritual reasons. It could be lack of communication. It could be, of course, selfishness. Yeah. And it could be out of temptation. But in all this, we've all talked about the fact that communication, effective communication, is very important. Christians especially, and even if you are not a Christian, we have to do better in communicating. We have to plan sex as married couple. We have to talk sex. We have to enjoy sex, and we have to plan towards sex. So let's speak it, let's work it, and let's make sure that we are effectively communicating and we are understanding each other and helping empower each other to be who we want our spouses or partners to be for us to enjoy. Sex is a blessing that God has given to us as couple in marriage, and it holds about 65% of marriage sustainability. So if you want to sustain your marriage, you need to spend more time talking and working around sexual satisfaction for both. And I know God will heal our land if we humble ourselves and pray and work it. God bless you.
God bless you so much. And with God, all things are possible. I always say, when you abide yourself in God, let God release you in everything that you do. Some people have taken have made it themselves before God. They love family more than God. And some people, like God, have taken or have put in God first before marriage or before family. When you put God first in that marriage, He is the father, He is the head of the family, and He will give you the way to go, the advice and the understanding of everything that you need. If you don't put God first and you put family first, your family will scatter because there is no wisdom, there is no knowledge. And the Bible says it is God that gives wisdom and knowledge. So if you want your marriage to grow and be fruitful, just let God lead that marriage. And when God leads that marriage, no matter what, you might go trials, you might go situations that you think that nobody have get it to there. But it is God who will make it right. It takes time. It takes patience for you to get there. So let God lead that marriage and fulfill His purpose. He has fulfilled and He has predestined each and everybody into marriage. That you love it and like it and forever love God for His purpose. So if you're not doing that and you're not making the purpose of God come to pass in that marriage, check yourself and check the things that you're supposed to do well. And with that, God will really appreciate you and love you more for what He has made you and the purpose He has for you. With God, all things are possible. See you next time, next month. I know we're going to treat the same topic, it being signed. So we're going to continue the topic because we have to build it. We have to get to it. Let people know what we're talking about. If we come, we have to speak tree all day. We're going to do that. Okay, so we're going to continue from next month. We're going to continue this program. And I believe this day has blessed your life. And I believe this day you have learned something. And I know God has really blessed you. I thank you, great men of God. I really appreciate you so much for your time, for your passion to the kingdom of God, and your acceptance to be here. I really appreciate you guys, and I love you all with all my heart. And I pray that may God increase your anointing, the grace that He has given unto you. May He enlarge your territory, everything that you touch, because you're making a blessing to God's people, your life will never be the same. May God richly increase you in the mighty name of Jesus. Viewers, we thank God for your life, and stay put. We're coming on your way next week. It's going to be the puppet. So watch out for great things, what God is about to do. And so without wasting my time, we call it a day. Have a wonderful week, and have a blessed day.